In 34 days, something is going to happen that could quietly change how money works for the next few years. And the dangerous part is, most people won't even realize it's happening until after they've already reacted the wrong way. This isn't panic, but it's also not normal, because right now we're not dealing with one problem. We're dealing with multiple pressures building at the exact same time. And when that happens, people don't lose money because of the market. They lose money because they can't sit still when things get unclear. The most dangerous markets are not the ones that crash. They're the ones that confuse you. One day green, the next day red. News says one thing, then the opposite. And slowly, you stop trusting your own decisions. And that's where it starts. Not with a crash, but with hesitation. Then overreaction. Then regret. Think about the last time your portfolio dropped. Not even a big drop, just enough to make you uncomfortable. What did you feel? Not logic, but pressure. That small voice that says, maybe I should move my money just in case. That just in case decision has probably cost more people money than any market crash in history. And this is why this moment matters. Because right now, there are real pressures building underneath everything. Costs are rising, not dramatically overnight, but slowly enough that you start feeling it in daily life. Food feels slightly more expensive. Rent feels heavier. Saving feels harder. And here's the part most people don't connect. When your personal life feels tighter, you become more sensitive to market movement. You start reacting faster. You tolerate less uncertainty, and you want quicker answers. Now combine that with a system that's already shifting, policies changing, conditions tightening, expectations adjusting, and suddenly it's not just the market that feels unstable, you do too. This is the moment where most people break, not financially, but mentally, because uncertainty doesn't just test your strategy, it tests your behavior. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't lose money because they're wrong. They lose money because they change their plan every time they feel uncomfortable. That's the pattern. Buy when things feel safe. Sell when things feel uncertain, and repeat. And over time, that cycle quietly destroys returns. So the real question is, what do people who succeed do differently? They don't try to predict every move. They don't chase perfect timing. They don't react to every headline. They do something much simpler and much harder. They stay consistent when everything around them is trying to make them inconsistent. Because that one difference is where almost all long-term wealth comes from. Now, let's make this real. Imagine your salary increases. You feel good. You upgrade your lifestyle slightly. Better food, more comfort, fewer compromises. Then, slowly, costs start rising too. Nothing dramatic, just enough. And suddenly, you're earning more, but it doesn't feel like progress. That's pressure. Now imagine that same pressure happening across millions of people at the same time. That's not just personal anymore. That's systemic. And when systems feel tight, markets reflect that. Not instantly, but gradually. This is why things feel off right now. Not broken, just different. And when things feel different, most people do the wrong thing. They wait for clarity. But here's the problem. Clarity comes after the move, not before it. The biggest opportunities never feel obvious in the moment. They feel uncomfortable, uncertain, and unclear. They feel like maybe I should wait a little longer. And that hesitation is where most people miss it. Now, listen carefully. This does not mean you take big risks, and it does not mean you rush decisions. It means something much subtler. You don't break your process just because the environment feels uncertain. Because no one, not experts, not institutions, not even the best investors, can consistently predict short-term moves. But the people who win long-term don't need to. They understand something deeper. The market rewards patience far more than intelligence and punishes emotion far more than mistakes. So when you look at the next few weeks, don't ask what's about to happen. Ask yourself, will I stay consistent or will I react? Because that decision matters more than the event itself. Years from now, this period will look obvious. People will say it was a clear opportunity, it was predictable. But right now, it doesn't feel like that. It feels uncertain, slightly uncomfortable, and hard to read. And if you feel that, that's not weakness, that's awareness. The difference is what you do with it. Because history isn't made in loud moments, It's made quietly by people who stayed steady when it would have been easier to panic. And if you've made it this far, you're already thinking differently than most people. So think about this. When things feel uncertain like this, do you usually react or do you stay steady? Because that one habit, repeated over time, ends up deciding almost everything. And most people don't realize that until it's too late.